Depends, like how many people are there? Are there definitely more than you can see in here? That's are there definitely more than you can see in here? Notice on this one.
I just think there's like, like maybe maximum 40 or 50 chairs.
Is that still enough?
Maybe, we'll see. We'll stack it up. We can have it again. 5, 15, 20. Yeah, we got 40. Might be enough.
Alright.
Yeah, it might be enough.
Oh, just so sorry.
अब जो बाकी भी लगाना चाहिए जो पीछे बात कर रहे हैं
I don't know. Get a longer one of these somewhere.
You can plug into the TV USB port. Is there a long USB port?
Yeah.
18, 24.
Let's move everything down.
Maybe if you just move like, just so that we can get like maybe one or two of these lines in.
No, because we can only see through. Oh, it's gone. It was here before, but we can only see these 3 columns in the middle.
So it might help anyway to move.
Yeah, I think we have to move that.
You want help?
Yeah, I think maybe move the TV.
It's gonna active just so it doesn't fall.
I think the wires are all long enough. Yeah. There's some wires playing up. It's just that one. We can go a bit more now. बेशक पीछे वाली साइड तक ले लें क्योंकि अगर कुछ और प्लग इन करना
Assalamu alaikum, testing. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
We can also test if there's audio coming from.
Assalamu alaikum, testing. Assalamu alaikum. Ji walaikum assalam tullah, testing. Assalamu alaikum. Ji walaikum assalam rahmatullah.
We can also test if there's audio coming from.
Chala, jazakallah. You can hear me clearly, right? Assalamu alaikum, testing. Assalamu alaikum. Ji walaikum assalam tullah, testing. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
We can also test if there's audio coming from.
Chale, Jazakallah. You can hear me clearly, right? Yeah, we can hear you. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum, testing. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah, testing. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear Sadr Sahab, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Does that work? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I might leave it. Just zoom out and leave it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin.
This is participant. Now, so this is participant computer console, which is computer. ठीक है ना? So this is यही participant है.
वीडियो में कितना डिले है? वीडियो तो बहुत डिले है, मैं अभी तक वहीं खड़ा हूँ। एक सेकंड, अभी आएगा है ना, वीडियो बहुत पीछे है, मैं भी वहीं पे खड़ा हूँ। जी काम में ठीक है, बल्कि सामने अच्छा लग रहा है वैसे। और उसको ये अंजू ने बंद ही कर दिया, नजर ही नहीं आ रहा। इधर से देख सकते हैं, अभी आपको लैपटॉप उठाना पड़ेगा साथ, ये कंप्यूटर ले जाएंगे। कुर्सी किसने हटाई है? चलो और आगे ही ले आओ, उसको और अंदर आगे ले जाओ। कैसे आगे? इसको इस तरफ तो करो थोड़ा। क्या कहते हैं ये कुर्सियाँ आगे ले आए थोड़े, अर्जनीश पीछे बहुत जो पीछे ना, नॉट लाइक दिस, डोंट ऑर्डर में। हाँ भाई हमारा माइक ऑन नहीं, माइक हमारा बंद है। आसिफ खान साहब ने तो बोलना शुरू कर दिया है। वो जब अपनी लाइन में ये आवाज किस चीज की है?
अब करें, आपने इसकी वीडियो ऑन नहीं करनी। अच्छा अब बात करें।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम रहमतुल्लाह।
शुरू हो गई है।
प्लीज ये एक एक रोज आगे आ जाए, अगली रोज कुर्सियां खाली हैं।
अमर भाई
प्लीज आगे आगे आ जाए।
ऑडियो आ रही है ना?
सर
अभी जो
आगे आ
सदर साहब डिस्प्ले है ना, ये बेसिकली ये ठीक है,
फिर यहाँ फेल हो जानी है ना।
सही है, सही है ना ऐसे।
उसकी
नाविक बात कोई है
उसकी आपने ऑडियो वीडियो ऑन नहीं करनी।
इसका ये वाला बंद है। इसको अगर हम थोड़ा उठा दें एक सेकंड में ना, आज ने सीरीज
क्या बजा सबका वाईफाई चेक करें
Everyone can see the area around the street.
ऑडियो चेक करने दोबारा So one by one, rest पहले आप check करें.
अस्सलामुअलैकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू. अस्सलामुअलैकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू. Jazakallah. Respected Qais Sahab, NSW is requesting Khuddam to stay back after the meeting for a very short Wakar Amal. After this, we have to wind this whole up, wind up. So it's a request, Khuddam, who can stay back and help regional Qais Sahab. Qais Sahab कह रहे हैं NSW के प्लीज जो खुदाम ठहर सकते हैं मीटिंग के फौरन बाद, एक वकार अमल करना है, इस हाल को कुर्सियों को उठाना है और कुछ काम छोटे से और हैं, तो खुदाम से दरख्वास्त है कि वो मदद कर दें. जज़ाकल्लाह. Stay back after the meeting for a very short Wakar Amal. After this, we have to wind this whole up, wind up. So it's a request, Khuddam, who can stay back and help Qais Sahab. Qais Sahab कह रहे हैं NSW के प्लीज जो खुदाम ठहर सकते हैं मीटिंग के फौरन बाद, इस हाल को कुर्सी को उठाना है, काम छोटे से और हैं, तो खुदाम.
उससे कनेक्ट करना है उस वाईफाई से आप कर दो तो स्टेज की जो स्टेज की ऑडियो है टेस्टिंग ओके गुड है शुरू करें स्पीकर वाला कौन सा स्पीकर अवैस नंबर 1 जहाँ पर वहाब बैठे हुए जहाँ पर वहाब है सिडनी अटेंडीज वाला कौन सा कैमरा दानिश इज दिस सिडनी अटेंडीज जज़ाकल्लाह, बैठ जाओ। बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अस्सलामु अलैकुम warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We'll start with the recitation from the Holy Quran. I request respected Hafiz Tariq Salim Saab to please come forward.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. واعتصموا بحبل الله جميعا ولا تفرقوا. واذكروا نعمة الله عليكم إذ كنتم أعداء فألف بين قلوبكم فأصبحتم بنعمته إخوانا وكنتم على شفا حفرة من النار فأنقذكم منها. كذلك يبين الله لكم آياته لعلكم تهتدون. Surah Al-Imran, verse 103 and 4. Now I'm going to present the English translation of these very verses. I seek refuge with Allah from Satan the accursed. In the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful. O ye who believe, fear Allah as he should be feared, and let not death overtake you except when you are in a state of submission. And hold fast altogether by the rope of Allah, and be not divided. And remember the favor of Allah which He bestowed upon you.
when you were enemies, and he united your hearts in love, so that by his grace you became as brothers. And you were on the brink of a pit of fire, and he saved you from it. Thus does Allah explain to you his commandments, that you may be guided. Jazakallah.
Now I pledge. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu ashhadu la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu ashhadu la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. I bear witness that there is none worthy of worship except Allah. He is one and has no partner. And I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is his servant and messenger. I solemnly pledge that I shall always be ready to sacrifice my life, wealth, time and honor for the sake of my faith, country and nation. Likewise, I shall be ready to offer any sacrifice for guarding the institution of Khilafat Ahmadiyya. Moreover, I shall deem it essential to abide by any maruf decision made by Khalifatul Masih. Inshallah. Yes.
से मिलता है आशना ए आज़माने वाले ये नुस्खा भी आज़मा जिंदा वही हैं जो के खुदा के करीब हैं जिंदा वही हैं जो के खुदा के करीब हैं मकबूल बन के उसके अजीजो हबीब हैं इस्लाम चीज क्या है खुदा के लिए फना तरके रज़ाए ख्वाहिश पे मर्ज़िए खुदा वो दूर हैं
खुदा से जो तकवा से दूर हैं हरदम असीर नखवतो किब्रो गरूर हैं तकवा यही है यारो कि नखवत को छोड़ दो तकवा यही है यारो कि नखवत को छोड़ दो किब्रो गरूर बुख्ल की आदत को छोड़ दो जो खाक में मिले उसे मिलता है आशना ए आज़माने वाले ये नुस्खा भी आज़मा English translation. The one who humbles himself to dust attains the beloved. O seeker of the truth, do try this remedy too. Only they are truly alive who achieve nearness to Allah. By attaining His acceptance, they become His dear ones, His beloved ones. What is Islam? It is perishing for God, relinquishing own desires upon the will of Allah. The one who is far from righteousness is far away from God. The one who is at all times sunk in pride and arrogance. O friends, righteousness is to detach yourself from arrogance. Detach yourself from the habits of pride, arrogance, and being miserly.
Salam. So may Allah Ta'ala enable us to do so. Jazakallah Abdal sir. Next we'll have some awards. We'll start with Atfal National Awards, and I request Mohtam Sabat Far as well present or announce these awards. जो है यहाँ पर वो ले सकते हैं उनको बता दें.
Before I announce the best DIFO, best region and best Majlis for year 2020, I would like to take this opportunity to request our local and regional Nazmeen to proactively start all Atfal programs and events on regular basis from start of the year. Alhamdulillah, the COVID restrictions have now eased down in all states except Victoria. Wherever the laws of the state allow, Majlis Atfal, Nazim Atfal should start holding general meetings, talim classes, and sports event at Nawaz centers or mosques or close to the mosques. It's very important for all Atfal to stay attached to the mosques. So instead of holding the online classes, I will encourage all Nazmeen, if they can, depending on the restrictions, they should start holding these classes and events at the mosque or namaz centers now. Inshallah, I will send the Atfal calendar of events for year 2021 to all Nazmeen soon. I request all local and regional Nazmeen to start follow this calendar and hold all local and regional events and programs as per the calendar. Now I will come down to the announcements. I will start with the best Tifl award. We have 2 awards, one for Mary Kabir and one for Mary Sagir. So for Mary Kabir, the best Tifl goes to Talha Gondal from Adelaide South. Barakallahu lakum. Inshallah, we'll send out the trophy to Adelaide South. Best Tifl for Mary Sagir goes to Faris Zafar from Majlis Gold Coast. Inshallah, his trophy will also be sent out. Barakallahu lakum. The next is best region. The best region, first position goes to Muqami region. Barakallahu lakum. I would request Nazim Saab Muqami region to, I think it's not present. Qad Saab. This trophy is not ready. This trophy is not ready yet. Sorry, Mohd Saab, the trophy is not ready, but we'll send out the trophy to Nazim Saab. For Best Majlis Award for year 2020, the Best Majlis, 3rd place goes to Majlis Canberra. Barakallahu lakum. Inshallah, we'll send out the trophy. Best Majlis runners-up goes to Blacktown. Barakallahu lakum. So do you have a trophy for him? Do we have a for Best Majlis? The Best Majlis for year 2020 goes to Majlis Adelaide South. That's all for Atfal.
These trophies, these shields will be stuff. Who was Nazim Atfal? So who was Nazim Atfal for Adelaide South?
Nazim Atfal for Adelaide South is Musle Chandiya Sahib.
And for Muqami region, Nazim Atfal?
Muhammad Ansar Zahid Sahib. No, sir, suppose that the job is running late.
Very much congratulations to Khuddam. I think there were some items which weren't available or we missed with the supplier, and then inshallah we'll get these arranged and we'll get them sent out urgently.
Take it. Yes.
I just like to reiterate his message to all the Nazmeen at Fad. A lot of areas have now eased the COVID restrictions, especially in Masjid, and we are requesting Jamaat, and Jamaat has allowed us, that is a parallel here, to arrange regular sports at the Masjid. So we'll start with Mary Kabir only. We'll start far.
Yeah. So that is under the equipment, all that as you know will be provided by the Khuddam Sports Department. Is Hassan Sabi? No? And so, but the organization on the day from start to finish, like strict timing, that Atfal to come on this time and parents then to pick them up on this time. So on a weekly basis. If you can start that as soon as possible. And all the other regions as well, so that wherever there's Masroor Academy, that all the Nazmeen Atfal are attending the Masroor Academy regularly, checking the Atfal attendance and the performance as well. That how far is each Tifl into their syllabus, and if there are any shortcomings, extra help should be provided, and regular examinations should be taken. If Masroor Academy is doing them, then great. Otherwise, then Nazamin Atfal should be doing them as well. And also, just I'd like to take this opportunity to advise all Atfal who are present here and online that from today, 1st of November, the Atfal syllabus will be the Waqf syllabus. This is the fresh instructions from Hazur Anwar that Atfal al-MDS syllabus shouldn't be separate to Waqf. So going forward, inshallah ta'ala, the 7 to 15 year age syllabus of Waqf here in Sydney, we have requested already 500 copies from Markaz. Inshallah ta'ala, as soon as it's received, we'll be distributing them to other regions as well. And we've asked for permission if we can, hopefully with Hazur's permission, that if we can reprint the copies here as we need it as well. If Hazur allows us, then that'll make it easier for us as well. And a couple other things which I'll mention in my report as well. Thank you. We'll move on to Khuddam Awards. I request Asif Ahmed Khan Sahib to please announce the National Khuddam Awards.
First of all, I'm going to announce this Khuddam Australia Outstanding Efforts in Tabligh Awards 2019-20. There was a criteria for that. Any Khadim who preached every month, distributed maximum number of peace pamphlets, regularly follow up his contacts, participated in book stalls, attended Tabligh classes, and participated in all Tabligh events. So this year, Alhamdulillah, Outstanding Efforts in Tabligh award goes to Rafia Mahmood from Mukami region. I request us if you can please present the shield. Next award is Best Khadim, Sali Khadim of year 2019-20. For the criteria, it was offer 5 daily prayers. Any Khadim who offers 5 daily prayers, offer Fajr and Isha mostly in congregations, participated in Majlis events, recite Holy Quran daily, completely paid all auxiliaries and compulsory Chandajat, listen to Huzur Ayyadullah bin Nasr's Friday sermons, submitted all individual monthly reports, covered Talim syllabus, complete Talim exams, participated in Khidmat al-Khalq and Makarimal activities, attend all Majlis region and national events including general meetings and Ijtima. This year, this award goes to Agha Mujibullah Saab from Perth. Inshallah, sir, shield is ready. Inshallah, we'll post them. Next is some department awards. This year, Best Department in Khidmat al-Khalq award goes to Adelaide, Majlis Adelaide South from region South Australia. Best Majlis in Talim is Majlis Blacktown from Mukami region. I'll request Qaid Sahib to please come on stage and collect this award from Sir. And Nazim Sahib can come with you if you want. Barakallahu lakum. Next award is Tarbiyat Department. Best Majlis in Tarbiyat Department is Majlis Barak. And Best Majlis in Tabligh is Perth. And last is Mal. Best Majlis in Mal is Langwarren. Inshallah, shield will be posted to all the Majalis. Next is Best Region of year 2019-20. This year, Alhamdulillah, Best Region Award goes to Region South Australia. Qaid Sahib region was Kali Muslim Sahib. Inshallah, award, the shield will be posted to him. Next is the Best Majlis in category B. So I'll announce top 3 position if Sir allow me. So third position goes to Majlis ICT. Second position is Majlis Tasmania. And winner of category B Majlis is Majlis Gold Coast. Barakallahu lakum. Al-Minami positions. I'll be announcing top 5 position this year. So number 5 is Majlis Penrith from NSW region. Number 4 is Majlis Langeren. Number 3 is Majlis Adelaide South. Number 2nd position goes to Majlis Adelaide West from South Australia region. And I'll request Asab to present the shield for the Al-Minami. There are 2 majalis this year. Take it. Inshallah, whenever there will be next gatherings, Asab advised that with the Mir Sahib, inshallah we'll have the pictures. So this year, there are 2 majalis who won the Al-Minami. So those majalis are from Mukami region, Majlis Blacktown, and from Victoria, Majlis Barrick.
Now I'll hand over to new ones. Before I do that, inshallah, these awards are historically and traditionally awarded by and presented by Mr. Visa, especially the Al-Minami. So it is my wish that we wait for the next event, whenever that is, inshallah.
We wait for the next event, whenever that is, inshallah ta'ala, that when all the national gathering is there, then we request these members who have worked very hard over the year in these departments. You know, they've Majlis like Bahrain, for example, have sent a very high standard of mal. They're still the only Majlis that in, you know, beginning of towards the mid of Q2, they was able to achieve the 100% of mal budget. And this is because 3 or 4 years ago, they started working on instilling good habits and good processes. So this is the reason why we give these awards is not just to obviously acknowledge, which is one of the main reasons, but also so other Nazmeen and Qaideen and other Khuddam can learn and how to improve. It's if we inculcate good habits in Khuddam and Atfal at an early age, that whenever there's instruction and whenever there's your due dates due for anything, whether it's Chanda or Talim or Tarbiyat events, that you do that in time and you report on it in time. So in that aspect, mashallah, all the majalis who have they've achieved these awards. Khidmat al-Khalq Adelaide South has always been a front runner, and even in this COVID, they've done what they can, although Blacktown weren't far away from Khidmat al-Khalq. But I also acknowledge in Mukami regions, Blacktown made extraordinary efforts into the with the Khidmat al-Khalq. Talim, you've taken the prize there. Tarbiyat, Barrick. Every time I've visited Barrick, I've seen improvements in their Tarbiyat and in their Talim and all the other departments, which is why over the years, they've always been there or thereabouts when it comes to Al-Minami. This year it was very close, too close to call. So after praying on it and waiting on it for a while, we decided that inshallah ta'ala that Al-Minami, the deserved Al-Minami are 2 majalis. One is Majlis Blacktown, mashallah, and the other is Majlis Khuddam Ahamdiyya Barrick. Barakallahu lakum and jazakallah to both of them. I know both of them, the level of improvements that I've seen in Blacktown and Majlis Barrick over the last 3 to 4 years is that of when you see a child to a grown adult, mature adult. That's what you see. And mashallah, full credit goes to Qaid Saab, Taul Mujib Saab, and Sultan Ahmed Taul Mujib Saab of Majlis Khuddam Ahamdiyya Blacktown, and Sultan Ahmed Saab of Majlis Khuddam Ahamdiyya Barrick, that they've inculcated good habits, good processes. And what you can also see is that in their Amla, there's a very strong succession plan, that the future Qaideen, the future leaders are there already, which is very, very important, and very important for all the other Qaideen to note as well, that whatever you leave behind that's what you're going to be remembered by. So barakallahu lakum and jazakallah to you both once again. And also like to acknowledge Majlis Khuddam Ahamdiyya Perth, who have done extraordinarily in tabligh activities and still continue to do so. They are always knocking on my door and saying, "That's how we need to do this, that's how we need to do this," which is how we should be. So mashallah, well done to Majlis Khuddam Ahamdiyya Perth and Qaid Sahab, Wali Raza Khan Sahab, and all I've already mentioned, Langwaran and Ali Kalim Sahab, and all those majalis who are a little bit behind. Now is the time to reflect and have a post year meeting with your current AMLA, and then take we call it a red book meeting. We go over what went right, what went wrong, and then when you get the new AMLA approved, then straight away you bring those action points in that meeting and say, these are the areas which we need to improve in. And once again, I'll just remind everybody that Al-Maynami, yes, it is the ultimate award of Majlis Khuddam Ahamdiyya. It's easy to get, very hard to maintain. Money, you can always put those 110% or 200%, but can you do that for 2, 3 years, 4 years? So your Khuddam are well trained. That's the challenge. Also like to acknowledge the Majlis Khuddam Ahamdiyya Gold Coast. Out of the small Majlis category, they're just simply hard to beat. Barakallahu alaikum to Zafar Saab and his AMLA on the Khuddam. Majlis Tasmania went far away. Majlis Canberra slipped a bit. So I request that Majlis to please review your activities, and mashallah, very strong Majlis and probably the largest Majlis in that category. So I think they should be, doing a lot better than what they've done this year. And also, mashallah, Majlis Khuddam Ahamdiyya Darwin. They have come from behind, and their Qaid Sahab, Jabbar Sahab is mashallah working very, very hard. And it is first time that they achieved their 100% budget well within before the end of the Khuddam year. So it's a huge achievement for them. And although they're very far away, we seldom meet each other, but it's a huge effort that Qaid Sahab remains in touch, and he makes sure that Markaz instructions are implemented over there diligently. So once again, barakallahu lakum to these majalis and also the Khuddam and the Atfal who achieved the best Tifl and the best Khadim awards. Inshallah, these all will be sent out to you. Now we'll move to a request, a new Mutawat Majlis Khuddam Ahamdiyya from this year, from today actually, because today is the start of our new Khuddam Ahamdiyya. Adil Ahmed Gil Sahab to please introduce the new National AMLA to all Khuddam and Atfal.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Inspector Sahab, Jazakallah once again for giving me this opportunity to acknowledge the past AMLA members and to introduce new members to our newly approved National AMLA members. Alhamdulillah, on 23rd of October 2020, Hazuri Anwar, may Allah be his helper, graciously approved National AMLA for the year 2020-21, and the members' names and their khidmat are as follows. So the Majlis, Inspector Waqas Sahib, Naib Sadr 1, Respected Luqman Mujoka Sahib, Naib Sadr 2, Respected Ahmed Jawad Khan Sahib, Naib Sadr 3, Respected Waqar Ahmed Nasir Sahib, Muhammad Adil Ahmed Gil Sahib, Muhammad Khidmat Khalq, Respected Noman Ahmed Khan Sahib, Muhammad Taaleem, Respected Muhammad Iqbal Sahib, Muhammad Tarbiyat, Respected Ijaz Ahmed Tahir Sahib, Additional Muhammad Tarbiyat Istanata, Respected Athar Sadiq Sahib, Muhammad Mal, Respected Abid Mahmood Shahid Sahib, Additional Muhammad Mal, Respected Waqas Ahmed Sahib, Muhammad Amumi, Respected Zahid Ahmed Gondal Sahib, Muhammad Seta Jismani, Respected Ahsan Raza Sahib, Mohtam Seth Ismani, Respected Ahsan Raza Sahib, Mohtam Waqar Amal, Respected Bilal Ahmed Danish Sahib, Mohtam Sanat Tijarat, Respected Zuhair Khan Sahib, Mohtam Tariq Jadid, Respected Umar Wadash Sahib, Mohtam Atfal, Respected Rizwan Ahmed Sahib, Mohatam Tabligh, respected Musawwir Bajwa Sahib. Mohatam Ishad, respected Naveed. Mohatam Tajneed Muhammad Turab Khan Sahib. Mohatam Ishad, respected Naveed Ahmed Shah Sahib. Mohatam Tarbiyat Nawabai, respected Salman Mansoor Sahib. Mohatam Umar Tulaba, respected Nabik Chaudhry Sahib. Muhasib, respected Tasleem Ahmed Sahib. Mawan Sadar MK Software Development, respected Asif Ahmed Khan Sahib. Mawan Sadar MK IT Hardware, respected Nasir Ahmed Khan Sahib. Mawan Sadar MK Property, respected Huzaifar Sarwar Sahib. Mawan Sadar Wasaya, respected Ataul Wahab Khan Tariq Sahib. Mawan Sadar Waqfino, respected Sayyid Umair Kardezi Sahib. Mawan Sadar Audio, Video and Website, respected Awais Khan Sahib. Mohatam Mukami, respected Adnan Qadir Sahib. Qaid Region New South Wales, respected Ziaullah Khan Sahib. Qaid Region Victoria, Tahir Mahmood Rana Sahib. Qaid Region South Australia, respected Kaleem Aslam Sahib. Qaid Region Queensland, respected Kashif Shehzad Sahib. Inspector Sahib, now would like to acknowledge our past AMLA members who served in the year of 2019 to 20. First one is respected Shahid Mahmood Sahib, served as Naib Sadr 2. Respected Tariq Salim Sahib, served as Naib Mu'tamid Majlis Khuddam Ahamdiyya Australia. Respected Bashir VP Sahib, served as Mu'tamid Sanat Tijarat. Respected Anisur Rahman Sahib, served as Mu'tamid Mukhari Amal. Respected Rehan Abdullah Sahib, served as Mu'tamid Tarbiyat Namubai. Respected Taha Munir Sahib, served as Mawan Sadr MK Property. Respected Sir Sahib, I would also like to acknowledge here the khidmat of respected Asif Ahmed Khan Sahib, who served as a Mu'tamid for the last 5 years and took Majlis Khuddam Ahamdiyya to a new level. Inshallah, I will also try my best to follow his guidelines to run the department smoothly. Respected Sir Sahib, this year 3 Majalis have been divided into two each, and therefore a total number of Majalis will be now 27 all over Australia. The Majalis which have been divided now, Majlis Penrith has been split into Majlis Penrith and Majlis St. Mary's. Majlis Adelaide South has been split into Majlis Adelaide South and Majlis Woodcroft. Majlis Langwarrin has been split into Majlis Langwarrin and Cranbourne East. Inspector Sir Sahib, this year due to COVID-19, Majlis Khuddam Ahamdiyya Australia unable to hold Qaideen elections. Therefore, extensions have been given to the following Qaideen Majalis. Qaid Majlis Canberra, respected Ahmed Munir Sahib. Qaid Majlis Perth, respected Wali Raza Khan Sahib. Qaid Majlis Adelaide West, respected Zahir Ahmed Sahib. Qaid Majlis Melbourne East, respected Usman Tahir Sahib. Qaid Majlis Marsden Park, respected Amagan Tawseef Khan Sahib. Qaid Majlis Melbourne West, respected Ahmed Bilal Sahib. Qaid Majlis Tasmania, respected Monas Ahmadin Sheikh Sahib. Likewise, respected Sir Sahib, the following Qaideen have been approved and will serve as Qaid Majlis for the first time this year. Qaid Majlis Penrith, Brother Tanveer Ahmed Sahib. Qaid Majlis St. Mary's, Brother Usman Khan Sahib. Qaid Majlis Blacktown, Brother Nayyar Ahmed Sahib. Qaid Majlis Adelaide South, Brother Waleed Shah Sahib. Qaid Majlis Woodcroft, Brother Sayyid Munib Janoor Sahib. Qaid Majlis Langwarrin, Brother Subhan Tanoli Sahib. Qaid Majlis Cranbourne East, Brother Ali Kaleem Sahib. Qaid Majlis Barrack, Brother Usman Arshad Sahib. Alhamdulillah, respected. Usman Khan sir from Penrith, Chief. Inspector Sahib, so this year the rest of the 11 Qaideen will continue to serve as the Qaid Majlis for their second year. May Allah enable all AMLA members and Qaideen to serve the Jamaat in the best of their abilities. Jazakumullah. Amin.
Thank you. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله رب العالمين. All praise belong to Allah the Almighty, Lord of all the worlds. Alhamdulillah, we have successfully concluded another year of Majlis Khuddam Ahamdiyya and Untitled Chapter, and another one begins from today. MashaAllah, the Tarbiyat department arranged the Namaz-e-Tahajjud at local levels, and I saw many Majalis arrange this at their local levels. May Allah Ta'ala accept our prayers. May Allah Ta'ala enable us to fulfill our pledge and enable us to serve diligently, earnestly, and making all the sacrifices that's required of our khidmat and responsibilities, not only as office bearers, but as Khuddam and Atfal. Inshallah Ta'ala, Ameen. As you know that the main reason for this gathering here, especially in those areas where we can gather, is firstly to thank the Allah the Almighty that we are able to get together again in larger numbers than before. And we should pray especially for our government and for all the frontline workers who are working very, very hard to keep this pandemic at bay as best as possible. And we should pray that Allah Ta'ala help them, guide them, and also safeguard all of us, all Australians, all Muslims, all Ahmadis from this pandemic, and enable us to overcome it completely, so that we can come back to our activities the way we knew it before. Although we acknowledge that a lot of activities will change, the way they are being done will change, hopefully for the better, inshallah ta'ala. But alhamdulillah, we have other means and avenues to continue on working as Khuddam Ahamdiyya is required. I'll be briefly presenting some of the reports. Firstly, Tamad, his Mutsa has already mentioned. Now we have from 24 Majalis to 27 Majalis. Out of these Majalis, 23 regularly submitted their annual reports. One Majlis we struggled with, that's Majlis City, Sydney City, and I request Qaid Sahib Region, New South Wales, to please pay attention that this time around we have a Qaid Majlis who's more active and who's regularly there doing his duties over there. The Majalis which have already been mentioned, the Langwarrin will be divided into two, Langwarrin and Cranbourne East, Adelaide South into two, Adelaide South and Woodcroft, Penrith into two, Penrith and St Mary's. So that makes 27 all up. Also I'd like to let all the Qaideen and regional Qaideen know that we have permission to have, from Hazur Anwar, we have permission to hold Ilmi and Tarbiyati programs online as we see fit. If you are unsure of anything, you can write to me, you can ask. So other than Ijtimas, we can have Ilmi and Tarbiyati programs online if we need to. But where possible, in line with the guidelines of the government, like a gathering such as this, alhamdulillah, in Sydney we're allowed up to 300 here. So especially for Jummah prayers, there'll be now the arrangement for up to, where's WhatsApp Mukami? How many? 280. So inshallah ta'ala we'll be able to have 280 people, 280 members. And there's no age restrictions anymore by Jamaat. So all Atfal, Khuddam and Ansar are welcome to offer their Jummah prayers at Masjid. Khilafat Hall and the two Masjid Hall will be prepared accordingly. And I've already mentioned Motsa Atfal that weekly Atfal sports should recommence now, but under strict duty that registration and the COVID care plan is being implemented. As I go through the Amal list, I'd like to also acknowledge once more Shahid Mahmood Saab, Naib Sadr Awwal. He's leaving us for Majlis and Sarullah from 1st of Jan. So I'd like to thank him for his services. We've already given him a farewell from National Amal perspective. May Allah Ta'ala enable him to serve over there as well. And may Allah Ta'ala accept his prayers and reward his services. I also like to acknowledge Luqman Majoka Saab, who's Naib Sadr Awwal. MashaAllah, he's worked very hard throughout the year, and inshallah ta'ala, he'll continue his services. Naib Sadr Awwal. He was Nazmi Allah of the Ilmi Rally we just held, first online virtual Ilmi Rally. MashaAllah, it was very successful. We had a total of 856 Khuddam attend and Atfal attend that day. And in the Atfal participation, we had 133 Atfal participants, who actually participated in competitions, but we had 203 overall who attended the Ilmi Rally online. Jazakallah to both of you, Motam Saab Atfal and Imam Majoka Saab, for your continued efforts. And also, he, mashallah, helped us in a great deal of work in Khidmat al-Khalq and organizing, especially when the COVID came. He took charge, and I asked him to make some COVID initiatives, and the homeless feeding and distribution of the sanitizers, making COVID plans for nationally. So mashallah, he did it very diligently and very efficiently. May Allah Ta'ala reward you highly, Luqman Saab, and inshallah Ta'ala we'll work together again this year. Ahmed Jawad Khan Saab, he's helped us throughout the year in various projects, and especially in Bakar Amal and Tabligh. In particular, the sports ground. He oversaw the sourcing of the turf, the soil, and the plan and the suppliers. So a lot of hard work went into in the background. And just this afternoon, I received a phone call from Nasir Yaqub Saab requesting that I, on his behalf, thank all the Khuddam. I think there were about 15 to 20 Khuddam who regularly visited the masjid and worked on this ground, from leveling the soil to installing the sprinkler system and learning about the ground maintenance, which is very positive to see. As you know, it looks very beautiful, and inshallah ta'ala, very soon, once the Jamaat is ready, we'll know more about when we can start playing. But until then, more patience is required. We have to see it, look at it, and pray for it, that grass continues to grow green. And once the Jamaat decides and gives permission, inshallah ta'ala, then we'll have the opportunity to play on it. But it's a huge thank you, Jazakallah, to all Khuddam, and also take this opportunity to thank Nasir Bhai, because Nasir Bhai and his team, Ahmed Khan Bhai, Nasir Bhai, they spent hours and hours and hours working very hard to make sure that we got this ground to the level where it needed to be. Majority of the leveling work, you can say 95%, if not 98% of the leveling work was done by Nasir Yaqub Saab. 100% of the sprinkler system was done by Ahmed Jawad Khan, and all the Khuddam, all the soccer playing Khuddam mostly, which is good to see that they supported this project very well. So Jazakallah and Barakallahu lakum to you, to your new ground as well. Then Khidmat al-Khalq. Alhamdulillah, as you know that from the bushfire season till now, Khidmat al-Khalq activities keep on going on. So I'd like to thank Munsab Khidmat al-Khalq, Atar Sadiq Saab, who's worked very hard, and he did his best into making sure that the call of the Khidmat al-Khalq activities are being done and being sent to all the Majalis and the Nazmeen. And also our current Mu'tamad Majlis, Atil Gil Saab, was his Naib. He worked very hard as well. And a lot of activities were done with local charities, food drives, clothing drives, and it's in particular when we did the homeless initiatives, a lot of the Majalis came forward, and Alhamdulillah, we were able to help 174 homeless people
and with $2,000 donations as well. This is on top of what the Majlis donated to help this cause. And also like to mention that $16,000 were donated by the members, which was coordinated by Majlis Khuddam Ahamdiyya for the bushfire appeal, which is earlier this year. And a total of 600 man hours were spent by Khuddam Ahamdiyya on this project. As you probably saw, these vans getting filled up at the mosque, members donating or dropping their food items at the mosque or namaz centers. It was then collected and packaged and labeled, and then it was dropped off to the various rural fire service centers, which we were able to deliver and help those firefighters. So that the new Motum Khidmat Khalq will be inshallah Numan Khan Sahab. And Numan Khan Sahab, I request you that so far we have rain, so inshallah Allah Ta'ala knows best what kind of summer we're going to have. Like in lessons from last year, where we should be ready in terms of our volunteers and whatever help the RFS, the SES requires in terms of volunteering, not just being able to go fight fires, but there's a lot of work in the background that is required. In the the bases that they have, one in Richmond, is it Richmond or I think it's Richmond? And our pot cleaning team, for example, can go there because firefighters go out 12 hours, 14-hour shifts, and then come back to eat. And all that food needs to be served, warmed up to the kitchen hand and pot cleaning. There's so many things we can do. So I request you get in touch, and same goes for all over the state as well. That whatever seasonal requirements are in terms of disaster relief, whether it's bushfires or floods or whatever, that we are in touch with the local organizations and registering ourselves and our volunteers accordingly and training them as well, for that matter. Inshallah ta'ala, we'll be having a blood donation drive soon. When is that? December? This month? So this week? Next week, okay. So all the Khuddam requested that there's a lot of campaign, there's a big campaign from Red Cross blood donations that the blood bank is running low, and leading up to Christmas and the holiday period, there's a huge demand for blood. And over the COVID period, the donations haven't been forthcoming as they should be. So all Khuddam who have not donated blood in the last 3 months, or if it's been 3 months, you can potentially go donate blood. So get in touch with your local Nazim Khidmat Khalq to register yourself and go give blood, and let's help the Red Cross blood donation team as best as possible. Next is Talim. Alhamdulillah, Mutsab Talim, Muhammad Iqbal Sahab. Jazakallah for your efforts throughout the year. You'll be continuing on to serve as Mutum Talim. I just request that you take on board the Hazur Anwar's guidance, which is given us in the Mulakat, that the book, nominated book, Promised Messiah Allah's book should be in English, which is available and which can be distributed to all the Khuddam. And we've committed to now 4 Talimi exams, and we promised Hazur Anwar that we'll have 4 Talimi exams. And part of our plan, national plan, as Hazur Anwar instructed, that whenever we want to do a Talim exam, first National Amla, all the local regional Amlas, then Khuddam. So the way we made a plan is that a month before or a week or 2 before the National Talim exam is due, National Amla will sit the exam first, then the regional and local Amlas, and then inshallah ta'ala will go out to Khuddam. So we'll have to, as office bearers, we have to keep this in mind, and we have to lead by example. Inshallah, this new Khuddam, his first Talim exam will be in December, which will be National Amla. The dates will be sent out by Musab Talim, will be shared. This revised calendar that I speak of will also be sent to all the Qaideen after this meeting as well, today, tomorrow. While we're on Talim, I'd like to acknowledge Ataul Kareem Gohar Saab and Sayyid Mansoor Saab, who's Qaid Majlis Kasalil as well. MashaAllah, they represented Majlis Khuddam Ahamdiyya Australia in the first ever virtual Ilmi quiz competition, the international quiz competition, I should say, which was held by Majlis Khuddam Ahamdiyya UK. And Alhamdulillah, by the grace of Allah Ta'ala, the Australian team came first. So Barakallah Hulakum to them again, and inshallah Ta'ala will acknowledge them with some prizes. I've already requested Mutsab Talim to send them some prizes
in form of some vouchers. And also I'd like to remind Musab Talim and Lukman Joka Sahab, if you're here, the prizes for the Ilmi rally and the Atfal prizes as well, they need to be sent out within this week. So before next Friday, all the prizes should be sent out to all the participants. We shouldn't delay them too long. Next is Tarbiyat, mashallah. Tarbiyat work is ongoing work. I'd like to acknowledge the hard work of Musab Tarbiyat Bukhari Manas Sahab. He's been Muslim Tarbiyat for 3-4 years. It feels like 10 years. Mashallah, you work very, very hard. Now you're going to be serving as Naib Sadr. May Allah enable you to discharge your duties to the best of your ability and work harder than before, inshallah ta'ala. The new Mutum Tarbiyat, incoming Mutum Tarbiyat is Ijaz Matar Sahab. Mashallah, you have big shoes to fill. I think literally you have big shoes to fill. May Allah enable you to do that as well. And I know the handover process already started, so continue to do that. You already made a good start with Tahajjud prayer. So it's more about getting to know the Nazmeen and making sure the Nazmeen are actively doing their jobs. And the Nazmeen are in regular contact with the Khuddam, and especially those Khuddam, and politely and fazakkir. We just have to keep on reminding Khuddam. We have to keep on reminding Khuddam that these are our duties: 5 daily prayers, recitation of Holy Quran, listen to Hazur, Friday sermons, writing to Hazur. We just keep on doing it, As I used to say to Musab Tarbiyat, result is up to Allah Ta'ala. What we can account for is our effort. So if our effort is there, what we can see is, then our prayers and effort, inshallah ta'ala, won't go to waste. So we'll keep on doing that. The system should be there, and rest is up to the Khuddam and Atfal. The reminders will come to you, and it's our duty to action those reminders and improve our namaz and improve all the tarbiyati matters as well. There'll be a new tarbiyat department from this year, 1st of November, added in Majlis Khuddam Ahamdiyya on the instructions of Hazur Anwar, which is the additional Mutum Tarbiyat. So this is a department will solely focus on the Rishta Nata area and advising and educating Khuddam. And here's what Hazur Anwar said in our mulaqat. Hazur said, also train Khuddam that they should get married with Ahmadis rather than outside Jamaat. And how we should save ourselves from different social ills of the society. This should also be part of your tarbiyat plan. If one prays properly for the sake of Allah, then one can be saved from a lot of ills. Remind Khuddam about Salat, but also have tarbiyat programs and teach Khuddam what Allah desires from us. So that is the message of Hazur Anwar. And the new additional tarbiyat would be at the Sadiq Sahab. So inshallah ta'ala, we'll have a catch up regarding our plans. Broad guidelines are here already, what we need to do. Inshallah ta'ala, with the help of Murabbiyan and a few different programs, we'll try to educate the Khuddam as best as possible what the responsibilities are before they get married, and after they get married, what the responsibilities are, inshallah ta'ala. Okay? Jazakallah. And once again, appreciate your efforts in the Khidmat Khalq department as well. Jazakallah. Next is, so I'll give you some stats, share some stats before we go into that about the Tarbiyat. That 461 Khuddam offer 5 daily prayers in congregation, and 40% or 389 Khuddam recite the Holy Quran daily. Now these numbers are nowhere near where they should be, we all know that. And again, a humble request and reminder to all Khuddam who are listening, and those Khuddam who are not listening, I request the Tarbiyat department to pass on this message, that the first question which we asked at the Day of Judgment is namaz. So just be ready for that, because the system or the Nizam, which is a department of Tarbiyat, is just here as reminders. We're just going to remind ourselves that this is our duty. Then it is up to the individual Khadim to make sure that he strives and works hard to improve his daily prayers. Mal Abid Mahmood Sahib, mashallah, great effort. Is he here, Abid Mahmood Sahib? No, he's not here. Gotcha. So, alhamdulillah, we're sitting at 99% of the budget. So we're almost there. I think he said there's some cash in hand which hasn't been deposited yet. So I'm hoping that we've passed 100%. Hazur Anwar has given us a target of 110%. So we're still trying our best to get to that target. But I'd like to take this opportunity to thank a few Majlis who, before our mulaqat with Hazur Anwar, they were way behind the 100% mark, but I requested the Qaideen Majalis, the Mal department,
and the Nazmeen Amal, mashallah, they work very, very hard. So these majalis are in no order or anything, just from the list that I have in front of me. Plumpton, mashallah, Qaid Majlis Plumpton in his first year as Qaid Majlis was able to achieve 106% of his budget. Mazen Park, once again, Qaid Sahab, Mazen Park, or Mughan Sahab, mashallah, your Majlis 107%. Again, a new Qaid Majlis, a new Majlis for that matter. Glendenning, Qaid Sahab, Luqman Sahab, mashallah, 117%. Blacktown, Al-Menami winner this year, 104%, mashallah. Penrith, mashallah, 106%. Parramatta, once again, 108%, mashallah. Qaid Sahab, to you and your Khuddam, mashallah, barakallahu lakum and jazakallah for your efforts. In Victoria region, Melbourne West, 106%. Langwarrin, 136%, mashallah. Always Langwarrin is leading by examples. Whenever there's a call made to do some more, they never say, oh, Sir Sahab, we've already achieved the budget, but they'll say, inshallah ta'ala, Sir Sahab will do it. And they always do. Allah ta'ala bless all the Khuddam and bless their income, bless their wealth, and Allah ta'ala give them more so they can sacrifice more for the sake of Allah ta'ala. Majlis Khuddam Lamdia Berwick, 113%. Adelaide South, 113%. Adelaide West, 116%. Perth, mashallah, for the first time, 100%. So Perth is, mashallah, coming in leaps and bounds when it comes to all their activities, not just in miles. And as a region, as you've just heard, the South Australia region was the best region. So not just in Mal, but Tarbiyat, Talim, Tabligh, in all these facets, when you look at it, as a region, they were number one, mashallah. Queensland has a bit to go. Only one Majlis so far has recorded 100%, which is Darwin. So Majlis Khuddam Lamdi Darwin, Qaid Sahab, to you and your Majlis, Jazakallah Sallallahu for your great efforts. May Allah Ta'ala reward you all 106% for Darwin. And like the opportunity, Abid Sahab, Qasim Sahab, Huzaifah Sabah Sahab, which is the Mal team. Taslim Sahab is the Muhasib, Luqman Majoka Sahab, Shahid Mahmood Sahab, Ahmed Jawad Khan Sahab. The three Naib Sadran worked very, very hard in assisting in the Mal collection. And Waqar Ahmed Nasir Sahab and other members of National Amla who were given a few responsibilities to make some calls, Jazakallah, Asamza, and to all Khuddam and Atfal who settled back to this call of paying or fulfilling your Khuddam Chanda at the time of the Huzur Ahmad Mulaqat. I really appreciate your efforts and your sacrifices, but please note that these are the habits we need to get in. So all the Qaideen should start working to instill these habits of paying Khuddam Chanda on time, Atfal Chanda on time, not on 31st of October, well before time. So July, August should be our target months. So by July and August, we should all be at 100% at all times, because then we have to focus on Tariqa Jadid, then we have to focus on Waqf Jadid. So these are all our commitments that we all have to do as well. So make sure that the way we plan is follow the calendar. If you are following the calendar, all the guideline is there, and inshallah you'll be able to achieve the 100%. Qasim Saab was serving as, mashallah, additional Mal, still is. And now his punctuality in providing the reports and processing of the payments. And now he's been given responsibility. By the grace of Allah Ta'ala, we have approval to register Majlis Khuddam Lamdi Australia as a registered charity, which is being worked on. And inshallah Ta'ala, we're hoping that within a week or two, we'll be able to lodge the application with ASIC and then ACNC, which is the National Charity Board, or the organization that oversees the charity. We are getting legal consultation from one of our Khuddams as well. And when it comes to the constitution and everything, so it needs to be in line, not only with the government guidelines, but we have our own constitution. So it should be, that should be incorporated in there as well. So please pray for Waqar Sahab in the process. May Allah make it beneficial for us, Khuddam Lamdiya, and for Jamaat as well. Musab Mumi Zaid Gomil Sahab, mashallah, punctual in duties. I know that all the majority of the namaz centers and masajid have regular Jummah duties, but the weekend event duties should be there as well. And where best as possible, the namaz duties. Nowadays, especially the Maghrib and Isha prayers, we should easily be able to arrange duties at Maghrib and Isha because they're late in the evenings and more Khuddam should be available. So I request Musab Mumi, if he's not here, then Musab, if you can take a note for him, that please, that in summer months when the days are long and the evening prayers are later in the evening, all the Khuddam are back home from work, regular duty should be arranged for Maghrib and Isha as well. So make sure that the COVID plan and everything, we're assisting Jamaat in that matter. Sayyid Jismani, Hasan Raza Sahab, mashallah, he's been very active. His first year in National Amla, he's done very well. And inshallah ta'ala, he'll be continuing as Motam Atfal. So more sports, more activities, make sure the Atfal and Khuddam are fit and healthy. And Motam Atfal, please always request wherever you need help in terms of sports, arranging sports for Atfal al-Ahamdiyya. Please do seek help from Motam Sahab in terms of equipment or for manpower for that matter. Not just he. If anything is needed interstate, where we can help, please let us know as well. I'd like to thank Anisur Rahman Sahab. MashaAllah, he worked very hard during the year, always himself leading from the front, on the machines, on the tools. And inshallah ta'ala, he's, although he won't be in the National Amla, but he's committed to any duty that is given to him. So the new Motam Mukarram al-Bilal Danish Sahab, what is Bilal Danish Sahab? Oh, mashallah, mashallah. So please take the charge from Anis Sahab as soon as possible. And inshallah ta'ala, we'll have a meeting with the property team as we discussed already how to maintain this mosque as well. Okay? May Allah be with you. Jazakallah. As per the report, 16,000 hours have been spent so far. This is, as at September, so a lot more have done since. So 16,000 man hours. That's a lot of Bukhari nationally. So barakallahu lakum and jazakallah to all Khuddam who took part in this department. Santat Tajarat Bashir VP Sahab, mashallah, he's leaving us now as well for Majlis Ansarullah. Please remember him in your prayers. He's done great service to this department. He brought this department to a new level, mashallah. And he's one of our Shura proposals was to have an online trade directory. So he incorporated the Jamaat website, which is the Australian Business Network, and incorporated the Khuddam trade directory into that as well. So the new Motam Satat Tijarat, which is Zuhair Khan Sahab, Zuhair Khan Sahab, absent. Zuhair Khan Sahab, if you message for Zuhair Khan Sahab is that have a proper handover, and also make sure that this work that has been done by Bashir Sahab, which is this online trade directory, is regularly updated. And there's instructions from Hazur Anwar from the Mulaqat as well, which will be shared shortly in a few days' time. All the directions from Hazur Anwar from that Mulaqat will be shared with all the Motam Amin and the Qaideen as well to share with Khuddam, inshallah. So Tariqa Jadid, now Tariqa Jadid, the year is ending. I hope all the Khuddam have participated in this blessed scheme. This is part of Khuddam al-Ahamdiyya as well. So last year it was only 130,000 out of the 569,000 collected. We are sincerely hope that this year we are able to do better than that. So because the year is ending, I won't ask for the stats, but I request Umar Wright Sahab, to provide me with the report within a week's time. Please collect all the data from the Sadran Jamaat or the National Department, and please advise what was the contribution in terms of the dollar amount and the participation level of Khuddam al-Ahamdiyya in terms of Tajdeed. Musab Atfal, mashallah, he has 343 Atfal now, which is good. And he had a very, very blessed mulaqat, which has now been broadcasted on MTA. Those who haven't seen it, I hope you will go and search on YouTube and you'll see that mulaqat. Beautiful and lovely and very great questions asked by Atfal al-Ahamdiyya. So barakallahu lakum to all Atfal who took part. And inshallah ta'ala, my intention and my wish is that once the timing is there, that we will request, and once we are able to get more Atfal, especially Miari Kabir, who weren't able to attend that class for COVID restrictions, especially the Adelaide ones. I mean, they were coming, they were on the way, but due to some unfortunate incident, they had to turn away and go back home. So my sincere hope is that we can get them, the Victorians and the Queenslanders all together who have missed out on this class, and once again have the second class as a Zurenbar very soon, inshallah ta'ala. So, Matsal, you've covered your department as well, so please more focus on the Nazmin Atfal, making sure that Masroor Academy, they're attending that, monitoring the attendance, and also the performance of Atfal al-Ahamdiyya. Musaf Tabligh, Mustafa Bajir Sahab, Jazakallah Samza. I think the highlight was that you've done a lot of online campaigns due to COVID. And I think now what you need to focus on is that within COVID, what can we do in terms of Tabligh activities? So inshallah we'll meet very soon and we'll make a plan for this new year. And in this department, the key highlight was one bad achieved, two bads achieved, but one was from the efforts of Khuddam Ahamdiyya, one was through marriage. And the effort, which the bad with the efforts of Khuddam Ahamdiyya was done by Majlis Adelaide West, mashallah. So barakallahu alaikum to them. And we welcome our new brother, Abhishek Kanwar Sahib. Now he's been in contact with Jamaat for almost 3 to 4 years. He's attended the national ijtimas, is always at the regional ijtima in South Australia as well. So we sincerely hope that Allah Ta'ala keeps you steadfast and enables you to fulfill your pledge of allegiance. Ameen. Musab Tajneed reports, we have now 1,378 Khuddam, alhamdulillah, 343 Atfal, as I've just mentioned. And message for you, Musab Tajneed, I know you're there, is that our Tajneed is our Tajneed, is separate with the Jamaat Tajneed. And Hazur Anwar advises that the way to collect our Tajneed, that's for Atfal Ahmadiyya as well. So the first week of November, we should, as soon as the new Qaideen and the approvals are done, straight away they should work on at grassroots level, fix up the Tajneed. So let's do this exercise now, in the first week of November, and then we do one anyway when we have to do the budget for the next year. So this should be 2 extensive exercises, and we're just going to use Al-Rakim as a reference. But whatever our record is, that's our record. Okay? That is the guidance of Hazur. Musab Ishad, mashallah, Naveed Saab, sorry, Muhtam Tajneeb is Turab Khan Saab. Inshallah ta'ala, he'll be continuing on. Jazakallah, appreciate your efforts throughout the year. You worked very hard to reconciling our Tajneed, but now we'll have to take the work forward and make sure that we are getting this record at the most updated. Musab Shahad Naveed Saab, Jazakallah for your efforts. Now we have to make sure that at least four Al-Masroor newsletters are printed and posted to each Khuddam, every Khuddam. This is our plan, and as well that this year at least one book, as advised by Hazur Anwar, at least one book or one publication we should do under Khuddam Ahamdiyya, which will benefit the Tarbiyat or the Tabligh side of Khuddam who are growing up in this country. So Musab Ishad, please work on this, and at the same time I'd like to remind Musab Atfal as well, the Mahmood magazine, at least twice, if not 4 times a year, should be printed and posted to every single tifl. Okay? Musab Tarbiya Novine is former is Rehan Abdullah Saab. I'd like to thank him for his service. MashaAllah, he was Noble by himself. I think his 3rd year in Jamaat. MashaAllah, he's done very well. Even though he was, he came across a lot of tragedy this year, losing both of his parents. Allah Ta'ala keep on giving him the patience. The new Muhtam Tarbiyat Novine will be Salman Mansoor Saab. Is he? Oh, there he is at the back. Jazakallah Salman Mansoor Saab. We've already had a brief discussion. Inshallah Ta'ala, we'll have a separate discussion with your plan as well. We welcome you to the National Arm, Allah Ta'ala, and we pray that Allah Ta'ala enable you to discharge your duties to the best of your ability. Just maintain regular contact with every single person on this list, wherever they are in terms of their spiritual level, in terms of their knowledge of Islam and Ahmadiyyat. Our target should be, we'll make them a little bit better from previous years. And Hazur Anwar's instruction is that to slowly bring them into the financial system of Jamaat, that each normal buy, takes part in Waqf Jadid and Tariqa Jadid. So now Tariqa Jadid is ending. You should check with all these normal buy that were they able to take part and assist them and guide them. And then Waqf Jadid is around the corner as well. Okay? So these are the 2 your most immediate tasks. Third thing is that review the list of normal buy and make sure that's current as well. Okay? So only those members who within the last 3 years have done bad should be on that list. Okay? Jazakallah. Musa Mahmood Talba, previous was Zuhair Khan Saab, and now from this year will be Nabik Chaudhry Saab. So I hope you can do your handover quickly. The guidance from Hazur Anwar is that not just the student database, but we should have the names or the list of students who are studying PhD, doing PhD or masters. So we should have the names in the list readily available as well. So the number of students in high school and number of students in university. Obviously, AMSA is there as well, whatever the requirement for AMSA is. I think in our plan, Mutasab, the first week of January should be a target, because by that time, is that the right time? Uni offers have been made by the first week of January? Yeah. So the first week of January should be national update of the student database. With the courses, with the names and everything, high school and also university. Like to thank Muhasib Saab. Mashallah, he's still continuing to serve. Tasleem Ahmed Saab, very, very regular and punctual in auditing our accounts. May Allah bless you and reward you for your services, and we look forward to working with you again this year. Mohammed Sadr IT Saab, Nasser Khan Saab, he's working very, very hard behind the scenes into improving the Khuddam email system, website and reporting system. And this year we'll divide the responsibilities because he has a lot of workload. And respected Asif Khan Saab will be serving as Mohammed Sadr IT. And especially I request him that the new the online Chanda payment system and the Khuddam the app through which you can pay your Chanda. So you'll be, inshallah, be responsible for delivering this project as best as possible. May Allah be with you and enable you to deliver it as best as possible. The previous Mohammed Sadr Vasai was Ijaz Dar Saab. MashaAllah, you work very hard. Now you've got the bigger responsibility, which is the tarbiyat, which also leads into the wasiyat anyway. So the more tarbiyat we can do for Khuddam, automatically we'll get more musis as well. And the new Mohammed Sadr Vasaya will be Tawal Wahab Khan Saad Tariq Saad. May Allah enable him to serve diligently and improve the number of Musiyan. Basically, our plan is whatever the target we get given by Jamaat, or whatever we request, whatever the request the Jamaat have for this department in Khuddam al-Ahamdiyya, that's what we will do. So I request Wahab Saab to please arrange a meeting with respected Amir Saab and get the targets for this year and the whatever working required is for this year, so we can make it part of our plan. Then Mohammed Sadr Waqfino, Sayyid Umar Gadezi Saab, he will be continuing his service. MashaAllah, he's doing very well. He's the first Waqfino from Australia who's also now Waqf Zindagi. Last year was his first year. Please remember him in your special prayers. He's working very hard. And may Allah enable him to fulfill his responsibilities and fulfill his waqf. Marvin Sadr Property was Taha Munir Saab. Jazakumullah, thank you for your great service. And I know you're going to be involved with helping us in maintaining our vehicles in the background. And the new Marvin Sadr Property plus other things. I've said plus other things. Could be anything. So he's helping us already in Mal department and the Tamar department. That will continue. And inshallah, the maintenance of the property, the register, everything, inshallah, you'll be responsibilities. We welcome you officially as member of the National Army. I think that's about it. Oh yeah, Awais Khan Sahab. Awais Khan Sahab, welcome. You've been behind the camera for a while as assisting us and providing us with this great coverage of our events. Now you'll be a member of National Amla, and your key responsibilities will be not only just audio, video, and coverage and recording, but also maintaining and upkeeping the websites. So as soon as possible, take that over from Mohd Sabishat and then have a meeting with me and what we wish to do on this department. That is a couple of the things, and then I'll conclude. Just like to touch on the first 2 months of our new Khuddam year. So Tajid we've already had. Inshallah Ta'ala, next weekend, next Sunday is Jalsa Sirat Nabi. That's at 11 a.m. Sydney time. So all Khuddam and Tfal are requested to attend. So it'll be similar to what it is now. It'll be partial attendance in person, and remaining members are requested to join online. So communications have already been sent out by Jamaat. Most of the Tarbiyat, if you can please re-emphasize the attendance of Khuddam, and most of the Tfal, if you can re-emphasize the attendance of Tfal. The first Ashara Tarbiyat will be held from 6th to 15th of November. Most of the Tarbiyat, that's yours. And Mohd Saab, the local regional Amla refresher courses. So that'll be mid-November. But before that, the National Amla is requested to complete your plans by the end of this week. This is the last date that you have. So all Naib Sadran, Naib Jawad Saab, Luqman Saab, Bukar Nas Saab. Tika, you're requested to finalize 2 things midweek, Wednesday. One is the annual plan, the new annual plan. Secondly, the Al-Menami criteria for the new year as well. Also, we'll inshallah ta'ala have blood donation drive, as I mentioned. So, Musab, if you can start promoting that. In December, given it's going to be the holiday season, leading to the holiday season. So this year we'll have a food drive, which will be under the Khidmat al-Khalq department to help the needy. And Atfal al-Anbiya will be responsible for making a gifts drive to give the gifts for the Christmas period to the children in need. So please then start making this these arrangements and work and try your best in these sort of, if we are working, firstly we should be working under our own banner. That's the main. Where we can't, then you can discuss with me that which charity we're going to partner with, inshallah. And then December we'll have our first Amla Talim exam, which is scheduled for 13th of December. And then the following week will be the Khuddam Talim exam. The Atfal Regional Tarbiyati Camp, Mohdasab, we've scheduled this for December, 20th of December, which is that weekend. So make it a weekend or something. So start planning that. And Mohdasab said that Jismani, if he's here, if he's not here, then as you know, we can't have national sports tournament at this stage. We were scheduled our national soccer and cricket tournaments towards the end of December. Instead of that, we will be holding regional sports rallies instead. So Mohdasab said just wanted to start preparing, making plans for them as well. And then our a very successful and very fun event in both Tarbiyat and sports departments, which is the New Year's Eve sports program. That'll be held under the regions. So all the regions are required to start planning them, the food and the next morning tahajjud as well. And some majalis have started the New Year's Day cleanup initiatives, so they're encouraged to continue that as well. So from tahajjud, you offer tahajjud, and then you go to your local majlis and start making arrangements now, whichever areas you can go to, and do a bit of a karamal in the morning as well. Regarding the Waqf syllabus, the Waqf syllabus part 1 and 7 actually covers the very initial syllabus of Atfal al-Anbiya. So essentially speaking, for Atfal, it'll be, in terms of Waqf syllabus, it'll be year 1 to year 15, correct? 2 parts, yeah, the first 2 parts. So there's 3 parts in total. So the first 2 parts will be the Atfal al-Anbiya syllabus, inshallah. So as I've said that we've requested some additional copies, but as you know, the copies that we have here, please utilize them as best as possible and give them now so we can start doing them as soon as possible. Jazakallah to all Khuddam for your support, for your prayers, for this Khuddam, and please, for the new Khuddam, we pray that Allah Ta'ala forgive our shortcomings, forgive our weaknesses, and enable us to improve on previous years, that we can assist Jamaat in the best possible way. A lot of Karamal is required regularly. So I know rain has saved us for the last couple of weekends, Mosa Mukami. So inshallah ta'ala, going forward, next weekend, please make a big plan for Karamal and NSW as well, okay? And make this a regular thing. And with the new Motum of Karamal, let's divide the duties and coordinate that efficiently as well. Also, I'd like to thank Motsab. MashaAllah, he's been with me for the last 5 years, very regularly. And he's brought up the Etamad department onto a new level. Please remember him in your prayers. He tried very hard to sneak out of National Amla. Like, I requested him to please help us 1 more year, hopefully. And then whatever happens the year after that, we don't know. And in the end, I'd like to request prayers for myself. Allah, please forgive my shortcomings and my weaknesses. All we had last few years or last term that Allah enabled me to serve. This extension is just because the elections couldn't have happened. And then at the same time, I look at it, Allah Ta'ala given us the opportunity to address our shortcomings, my own personal shortcomings, and that of as collectively as National Amla and Khuddam, so that we can improve ourselves and become better Khuddam, better Muslims, better Ahmadis, better servants of Ahmadiyyat, inshallah ta'ala. There's a lot of number of Khuddam, there's about 52 Khuddam who will be officially joining Ansarullah, Majlis Ansarullah from 1st of January 2021. There are many names there, but I wish to congratulate them on their successful tenure as a Khuddam. Because for the Amir Maroom once said that the person जो नया आ रहा होता है बंदा उसके लिए दुआ किया करो, वो जो जा रहा होता है जाने वाला होता है उसको आप मुबारकबाद दिया करो, क्योंकि हम अक्सर ये करते हैं कि जो आ रहा होता है उसको मुबारकबाद देते हैं, मुबारक हो, मुबारक उसके लिए जो ख़त्म करके जा रहा हो. So all those office bearers and all those Khuddam who have successfully finished your tenure in Khuddam al-Ahamdiyya, Barakallahu lakum, Jazakallah khair. To all those new office bearers and to all the new Khuddam who have joined us from Atfal al-Ahamdiyya, may Allah Ta'ala enable you to fulfill your pledge, understand your pledge, and deliver your pledge as best as possible. And may Allah Ta'ala be with you all. Jazakallah khair to all the team, Iqbal Saab, Amar Saab, Mud Saab, Zafar Saab, and Neem Motu Saab as well, the old Saab, Neem Motu Saab as well, for organizing this general meeting. Jazakallah, and all the interstate coordinators as well. MashaAllah, I can see now it feels like a collective gathering, MashaAllah. It feels really good, but hopefully everything went okay. Jazakallah for your efforts in helping us arrange this meeting, and all the audio video team as well. Thank you so much. And we'll conclude this general meeting with the dua. Please join me in silent prayer. Ameen. Jazakallah khair. Now, when we're leaving, so please don't, make a big bunch, just in orderly fashion, first two rows, and you use all the multiple doors. So there's no way in line with the COVID restrictions. Also, the interstate as well. When you're leaving, please do so in a very orderly and spaced fashion. Jazakallah. NSW, you can come in the nurse.
Assalamu alaikum. Guides have NSW requested that all Khuddam from NSW region please stay